Contour lines. This is Briar from Ellsworth Kelly. It's a contour line drawing. These are some apples that I drew when I was a student. And you can see here that some areas of this apple actually are lighter and some are darker, but it shows you what's not just the outline of the form, but also some of the internal lines that describe the form. And this is another one. And this one actually, you can see the line is a little lighter in the back and a little darker in the front. This is varying line weight, which helps show depth. Contour lines are, it's an important exercise just to improve your drawing and observation skills, and even experienced artists make contour line drawings. It's also, they're also artworks in themselves. And contour line drawing is particularly significant in graphic design, as a lot of graphic design work uses line. Contour drawings, they help you also develop your coordination between what your eye sees and what your hand does, so they improve your skills to record what you see. Blind contours when a person drawing looks at the subject but does not look at their paper. So why would we be doing blind contour drawings? Well, they're actually artworks by themselves often, not always, but they sharpen your observation skills because you are concentrating on looking at the subject more than you're concentrating on your drawing that you're making and your drawing skills and abilities. So you're not looking at your paper and stressing out over what it looks like. So this helps you to see more and look more, which we all need to do, because really our drawings can only be as realistic as the things we see if you're going for realism. And our sources also need to be clear and detailed if you want to draw what you see. So you need good lighting and high resolution drawings if you're drawing from photos, or high resolution images if you're drawing from photos. Here's some examples of Sublime Contours. You can see that the one on the right is a little bit more abstract, and the one on the left is a little less abstract, but these are also good examples of continuous line drawing, which we're going to be talking about next. And these are blind because the person didn't look at the page, but these are also continuous line drawings. Continuous line is when a person drawing looks at their subject and their paper but cannot take their pencil off the paper until the drawing is done. So you have one long, continuous, unbroken line. Think of a long piece of string. Why would you do this? Well, they can be artworks themselves. They also develop hand-eye coordination and observation skills, and they help us to practice making longer strokes with our pencil. Beginning artists often make short, less secure strokes that look like hairy outlines. Here's an example of a continuous line drawing of a horse. You can see that it starts here and it ends here, but there's no other broken point in this line. Here is a simple contour line drawing of an apple. It has no varying line weight or cross contours, which we're going to be talking about next. It is just pretty much an outline, but not entirely an outline, because it also has a little bit of internal form that's describing it right there. Varying line weight means that you alter the light and darkness of the line to give the drawing depth. Darker lines are related to the darker areas of the object, as well as where it sits, creating a dark area below the form, if the light is from above. Lighter areas are related to lighter areas of the form, and also on top of the form if the light is from above. Also note that in perspective, objects get grayer and less detailed as they go back in space. You can apply this and have your lines get lighter as they recede in space to give things more depth. You could even have areas completely disappear, and our mind will complete the picture. Here's an example of a drawing showing varying line weight that I did, and it shows you here, you can see it's darker by the stem where the object was naturally darker. It is also darker where it was sitting, creating a shadow underneath here. And it's lighter in the lines in the back. And you'll note that the lines are not thicker in this example, they're just darker. So don't make your lines really thicker, you just make them either darker or lighter. And also the lines taper from dark to light. This is an important thing to figure out how to do, and back from light to dark again in varying line weight. Cross contour lines, they travel across the form. They may be horizontal or vertical, as in this example with this apple. Why do we do this? Well, this is very helpful when you're beginning to shade, when you're learning how to do hatching, for example. They could be carried all the way around the form or used in small sections or in curves, like in this example. And if you're blending or shading, you still need to be aware of the contours, and it'll help you to figure out how to shade. Here's some cross contour line examples of a banana and a hand. You can see the lines wrapping around this form and then inside, and then the lines wrapping around the hand here, and then in some areas. This is a complex contour line drawing, and I'm calling it complex because it has a lot of line. It has a lot of varying line weight and can use cross contours. You can see that the lines actually become so close together at a certain point that it almost looks like shading. And this is actually a kind of confusing point. When does line become shade? If there are enough contour lines and lines are close enough together, then it will become shading. And you can see in this example how the lines are pretty far apart, but once they're pulled tighter together, you're shading. And same with here, the lines are a little further apart, but then they become a little closer together and this becomes shading, and then here it's further apart. And as they become closer together in this example that almost looks like fur, it also looks more like shading. So they visually blend together, those lines. And that's it for my contour line lecture. Thank you.